All right, everybody. Hi. Two more lessons. We're done with this book. And we move on to the blue book, which I was going to bring a copy and I forgot. And I don't think I really have any reason to record the lessons from the blue book because I already recorded all of them a few months ago. I just binge recorded them and I got a really bad headache from doing it. But those are already available online. So those of you who are studying at home, after this, just click to Chaldean Grammar. It's a whole other playlist. It goes through the entire blue book. After that, you'll have a really good idea of the whole grammar of the language and a lot more vocabulary. For those of you who are in person, I will continue with you guys with the blue book, but we just don't have to worry about the recording thing. Okay? So, again, I'm making the assumption that you guys are doing the work to actually learn the language. What I can do is present to you, here's the stuff, here's what's going on, here's the words, here's the grammar of it, here's the explanation. I can put it in front of you. You are the ones that have to actually learn it. I cannot be the one to learn for you. It just can't be done. So the way you learn it, I repeat, is actual work. There is no way out of it. There's no easy way. There's no magic. I'm going to get the recording and play it on loop while I'm asleep, and I'm going to learn it while I'm taking it. It just doesn't work that way. You just have to sweat to learn a language. There's better ways to do it and worse ways, and I've given you advice as the course has gone through. But if you want to learn it, you just have to sit and memorize things. You just have to practice. You have to say things out loud. You have to talk to your mom like you do and make mistakes and be corrected and be embarrassed. That's how you learn a language. Even when you're reading the letters, I always encourage people, sound it out. And you look so dumb when you're pelgid, and you do that in front of people and you're so embarrassed and your face gets red and it gets really hot and you want to go and run away and roll through the hills. I don't know what you want to do. That's how you learn though. And find people that are kind enough that they're not going to laugh at you when you do that, and study with those people. And that's how you're going to learn it. Because if you refuse to say it out loud, unless it's perfect, all you're going to do is create a handicap for yourself. You're going to slow yourself down, or you're never going to learn it. Humility really is a requirement to learn anything, especially something like language. Good? Okay. And it'll help you laugh at yourself, which is very important. Laughing at yourself is a very good virtue. That being said, chapter 17, food and kitchen, which is the vocab. Oh yeah, even the verbs. Okay, cool. In this chapter, just a couple of verbs, not much grammar here. You'll learn another verb in the past tense with the same endings as the verb you've learned already, as well as a new verb with new endings. This should be scary to you. Something actually new is going to come today. Those that are used in the present tense as well as the future tense, but don't worry about that yet. So, the past tense, we already learned these endings, right? So we took the word shema, and we put shemi, shemuch, shemach, shemeh, shema, sheman, shemo, chon, shemei. Okay, so these endings, I told you, memorize these really well. Yet again, we have them in the past tense. So when you put it on a verb, you have a lemeth that's going to attach to these. Okay. So today we have I ate. The root for this verb, I ate, is these three letters. Alep, kap, and lemeth. These are the root letters. This is fairly irregular. Now, again, what is it that makes verbs irregular? We're going to go through it a lot in the blue book, but what is it that makes verbs irregular? They're not always going to fit the same patterns. Wherever there's a alep, a waw, or a yod in the root, so now we already have a alep. And then in Chaldean, you're also going to have a lemeth is also going to mess things up sometimes. Why? Because the lemeth is also part of the conjugation. Conjugation is this pattern of past tense. So the lemeth is part of the past tense, but now we have another lemeth that's part of the root. So that's why when you have khilli, you're going to have an alap that's silent. Khil, shoot, smeared it. Khil, this is the root, and then you have to have another lamadh, and then the ending. You see what I mean? So this is part of the past tense. Like this is what you do to make it past tense. This lamadh is part of the root. Does that make sense? And then this is part of the root, but we're not going to pronounce it in the past tense. And again, why do I have to write it? Because in the present tense, it's akhal. And if you don't know that there's a alap there, whenever you get to the present tense, it's not going to make any sense to you. Does that make sense? Okay, good. This is a very complicated way to do something very simple. Repeat after me. Khilli. Khilluch. Khillach. Khill. Khilla. Khillan. Khillochun. Khillay. Very simple. It's a little funny because all this hosa I'm making, really, again, if we do the monkey spelling, you could do something like this if you wanted to really give me a headache. Khilli, right? Couldn't this be khilli? And that means this is the root. Do you see how stupid you are if you write it like this? Yeah, there's no way. What are you talking about? Because this we know is part of the conjugation. This is the verb to eat is this sound. No, there's no way. So, but that is what it sounds like. It's a very, very simple sound with a very complex kind of analysis. So this is past tense. I'll leave these up. Now I'm introducing something actually new to you guys. These are the endings for the present tense, and I'm giving you an example. This is the verb to want. Now, the root of the verb to want, this is going to be a little confusing, so don't think too much about this until you're ready. This is actually the root of the word to want. Beth, ayah, and alap. Okay? However, what do you see on page 77? You see the first one, the first verb there, I want, masculine, is, everyone say kibin. Everyone say kiban. That's the feminine I. This is good. This one is going to frustrate you until you learn it. Okay? Now, if this is the root, where did that kap come from? Well, the kap at the beginning, a kap that comes before the root is the present tense indicator. This is what I call it. So when you see a kap at the beginning of a verb, it indicates the present tense. This is the present tense indicator. Okay? In nerdy grammars, they will call this diagnostic. Which means you know it through the kap. You know its present tense through the kap. That's what diagnostic means. This is a nerdy word. I just say it's the indicator. It indicates that it's kap. Okay. So now you have ki. In this case, ki. Then you have b, kib, e, and then you have the ending. So we have three parts to this verb now. You see why this is annoying? With the past tense, we have the root. What was another past tense that was easier than khilli? What did we do last week? We did zilli, qreli, kthuli. So yeah, let's say kthuli. So you have the root, kthu. All you do is take the root and take the lamadh and take the ending. Kthu plus lamadh plus e, right? In the case of the present tense, you have to take the kap plus the root plus the endings. So you have something at the beginning and something at the end when it comes to the present tense. It's a little more complicated. Does that make sense? Okay. The future tense, there's going to be another indicator at the beginning. We'll learn it in a little while in the blue book. Okay. So let me erase. Can I erase this past tense stuff? Let me get rid of this, and I'm gonna write some stuff out with the present tense. So this is gone. Let me write this clearer. So kap, the present tense indicator, plus b'e, so ke, b'e, plus ke, bin. Everyone say kibin. So this is the ending. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this. Ke, bin, because this is actually part of the ending. If it's feminine, it's an. Kib-an. Everyone say kib-an. So now you have these endings. There's going to be a whole set of endings that you're going to attach to the end of this. Kib-in, kib-an. Kib-it. Everyone say kib-it. Kib-at. Kib-i. That one basically doesn't have an ending. Kib-a. Kib-uch. Or kibich, if you want to. There's two different kind of village ways to say that. Everyone say kibuch or kibich. They're perfectly fine. I'll put it here actually. Kibotun. And then kib a. Okay? So these are the present tense endings. I think I call these type A and the other ones type B, but we'll get through that in the blue book. Okay? So let's look at it. Let me look at it in the book. Look in the book and repeat after me. Oh, I spelled this. We spelled this a little simpler. I'll keep it like that. Okay, kibe. Kibe. Okay. Repeat after me again. Kibin. That's I want masculine. Kiban. I want feminine. So if you're a male, you say kibin. If you're a female, you say kiban. Okay? This is totally new. In the past tense, it's khali khali. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl. In the present tense, for whatever reason, there's grammatical sort of historical reasons for it. In the present tense, it makes a difference. The first person has a male and a female, has a masculine and feminine. Okay? So kibin, kiban, kibit, kibat. I actually wrote kibat with a silent yod at the end because that's the way I'm used to writing it. That's okay. It's okay to not do it like in the book, but I prefer to write the silent yod just because you don't need the vowel if you have that. But don't worry about that. Don't get stressed out about this. So everyone say kibit, kibat, kibe, he wants, kiba, she wants. Oh, we used a he for that? I don't like that. I'm going to use a he. Kebe, keba. Okay. Kibuch or kibich. You can spell it like this. Ich. Kibotun. Kibe. I will repeat. You already know this, but let me just say it in case you forgot and you're nervous. The I here is we're pronouncing it soft. It's not kib'in. Everyone say kib'in. Everyone see why we don't say it that way? It's exhausting. By the time you say you want something, you need to take a nap. Okay? Kibin. Okay? So when it comes to really heavy pronunciation, the language tends to soften itself. It just sort of does it because human beings are just universally lazy and we like to say things as efficiently as possible. Do you want to yell at these guys? Okay. All right. So now, what do you have suddenly? You have a whole new set of endings to memorize. This set of endings is just as important to memorize as the shimmi, shimmuch, shimme, shimma. It's just as important. So start to memorize this. Now, put the work in. You have no choice but to memorize these because you're going to see them over and over and over again until you want to vomit. because these are the endings for the present tense, for the present perfect, for the future tense, for the future perfect. So, and I think there's other places where they're used. That's not on top of my head. So you're going to see these over and over and over again. The quicker you memorize them, the better for you. Because that means once you memorize these and we get to the future tense, the only thing you're actually going to have to learn is the future tense indicator, which is bid. Okay? So don't worry about this yet, but it uses the exact same endings. You just have to replace the kap with bid at the beginning when you have it, and you just put the verb root in the middle. Okay, that's for the future. The future tense is for the future, but for the present, learn the present tense. Okay, we'll do it again. Kibin, kiban, kibit, kibat, kibe, kiba, kibuch, kibotun, kibe. In Tilkip, they say kiba. They don't say kibe. One issue with that, just be really clear in your pronunciation. She wants is everyone say kiba. They want in Tilkip is kiba. Everyone say kiba. Everyone say kiba. It's basically the same, but it's a little longer. Kiba. Yeah, whatever. The root. I'm worried about the ending part. Yeah. Yeah. So just be aware of that. And again, there's village differences. They're all fine. So be accepting. Don't make fun of people. While the verb to want isn't totally regular, the endings of the present tense are basically what you expect with other verbs. For now, memorize the pattern for this verb since it's pretty commonly used. Okay, let's go to our soap opera, and then we do. There's nothing like just talking shit, whatever. You know why this is a soap opera? Because if their parents knew they were having a conversation, they would think they're in love and they're going to get married. Oh my gosh! And if they're from the wrong village, then it's the end of the world. Okay. Maryam says, "Ma kibet, ta'ichala, Dawiv, iwatikpina." She wants to cook for him. Uh-oh. This is not, I don't like where this is going, man. He says, ana kibben, dolma. Natural answer, right? Ittochen, or itlochen, right? She says, la. Itten, rizzo maraqa. That's a big disappointment. This is a very sad story so far. Now he lies to her. He says, ham rizzo maraqa, ile basime. That's not true. It can be. Okay. Then Maryam says, bathar ikhala, kibit, shatit, chai. Look at shatit. See the ending? Shatit, like kibit. So what do you think the root of drink is? Shta, shati, shta. So shatit. See that? Same endings. And then he says, kibin. He wants to spend as much time with her as he can. We're going to have some chai afterwards. Then she said, immid chai, kibit shekar. Okay. And Dawid says, la, dusha, bishbasima, ile, immid chai. Which I agree with. I think it's better. Then she says, el-reshi u'eni. That literally means on my head and my eyes. Yeah. It's a weird phrase. Whatever. She's trying to spoil him. I don't know, man. I don't know what happens to them. Next week we'll find out if they get married or not. What is it? Or maybe they break up and then he becomes a monk and she becomes a nun. All this happens in one chapter. He breaks her heart and she swears off men forever and joins the nunnery. She says, Christ is the only man for me. And then he just like, yeah, whatever. Okay. All right, let's read some food-related terms. Everyone say istikan. A teacup. Apparently, according to Bishop Shalita, that comes from East Tea Can. So East Tea was a brand of tea, and they would use the cans to drink out of. And East Tea Can became istikan. It's plausible. I haven't traced it myself, but take his word for it if you want. Everyone say beta. Egg. Beta has an irregular plural. Just I'll teach you for fun. Everyone say be'e. So beta is singular, egg. Be'e, everyone say be'e, is eggs. It's not be'tatha. Okay, it's be'e. Everyone say biryani. I would bet this probably has a Hindi root, because it probably came from India, but I don't know. Gupta. Cheese. This might have Indian root too, because I know Indian people from like India whose last name is Gupta. So I don't know, whatever. I don't want to speculate. Everyone say gurgur. Or gargur. Depends on your village. I don't think gurgur is, it's bulgur wheat. I looked it up the other day. I was talking to somebody, I'm like, wait, what exactly is gurgur? Apparently it's cracked wheat, also called bulgur wheat. So it's wheat. Garoma is what you got hit with when you were really bad. A rolling pin. Everyone say dusha. Everyone say dolma. You know dolma. Everyone say distitha. It's the pot that you make the dolma in. Okay, everyone say halwa. Okay, these are confusing because villages will say these differently. Yogurt in some villages is halwa. In other villages it's mesta, which apparently is a Kurdish word. I've heard that. Again, I can't verify it because I don't know Kurdish to verify it. But you'll hear halwa, you'll hear yogurt. For milk, you'll hear khilya. Everyone say khilya. In other villages, the word khilya means sweet. And it can also mean attractive. In other villages, halib, they just use the Arabic word halib for milk. And then some villages will say halwa, which in some villages halwa means yogurt, and in other villages halwa means milk. So dairy-based products are a mess. Just figure it out. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Everyone say khamra. That's a nice universal word. Everyone says khamra. Everyone say kasa. Means a cup, but also means your stomach or like your belly. So figure it out. I don't see that being confused very often. Like pour chai on my stomach. No, I think it means in my cup. Everyone say chai. See. Everyone say chamcha. We know that word already. Serving spoon. Everyone say changal. Fork. Everyone say lakhma or lukhma. You'll hear people say put a u. Everyone say lukhma or lakhma. Okay? Or likhma actually. You're here with a I would say likhma. So the vowels for the word bread are very variable. That's pure Arabic.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Get some moon out of your vocabulary. Everyone say matamta. A spoon. Everyone say maya. Nice word. Everyone say makhsala. A sink. Everyone say milkha. Salt. Maqla. A pan, a frying pan. Maraqa. Stew. And then you can say maraqad, and then you say whatever vegetable it is, right? Everyone say skina. Knife. It's also pronounced skinta. I would say skinta in other villages. So some villages make knives female, which makes more sense to me. Okay? And some villages make knives masculine, which makes sense in other ways too. Okay. Everyone say pusra. You'll also hear bisra with a beth. So this has alternate pronunciations too. Pusra or bisra. Okay? Meat. Pakota is barley. If you need to carb up, you get some pakota. Everyone say firin, stove. Sahna, a plate. Ma'un is, yet again, Arabic. Sahna. Everyone say sayaniye, a platter. Everyone say quri, a teapot. Rizza, rice. Rizza might have a common root in Greek or something like that. Rice, rizza, they're too similar for that to be accidental. Everyone say shekar. That's definitely just like a Greek or English or something word that came in. Shekar. Everyone say takharta. Everyone knows what takharta is. Takharta is the singular. You are used to saying takhratha because usually you have more than one because you're fat. Takhratha is more than one. Everyone say takhratha. If you sat and you never will eat one takhratha. And I've heard people say that, and it gives me a seizure or a stroke or something like that. You eat one takharta. Everyone say takharta. You have more than one takhratha. Good? Okay. And then thallaja, refrigerator. What's the word for ice? Talga. See? Talga, thallaja. They're related words. Because thallaja and thallaja is an ice box, a place where you put the ice. You see that? So talga and thallaja are related. Write that stuff in English and in Chaldean. And that's it for this chapter, right on time. Next week, we're going to learn about animals. We're going to learn about feelings. I don't know anything about feelings. And we're going to find out how the soap opera ends. And then we're done next week with this book.